It starts quietly. You're 7 years old. You're standing in the doorway, invisible. You're staring into the eyes of a parent who is not a person. They are a ghost of addiction, a ghost of rage, a hollow, vacant shell staring through you. And in that cold, silent moment, something ancient, something primal, clicks into place in your small mind. A silent, ironclad contract is signed, right there, in the shadows of the hallway. If I don't hold everything together, it all falls apart. And if it all falls apart, I will not survive. This is how a child disappears. Not physically, psychologically. This is the birth of the child king. You are crowned, not with gold, but with a burden that will crush your entire life. You stop being a child, and you become a thermostat. You learn to read the air. You walk into a room, and you are not a sun, you are a radar system, scanning for danger. Is the ghost angry? Is the ghost sad? Is the ghost there at all? You learn to cry less. You learn to perform more. You become the peacekeeper, the therapist, the protector. You become a small, 7-year-old adult long before your mind is ready. And the world praises you for it. You're so mature for your age. You're so responsible. You're so strong. No one ever stops to ask the one question that matters. At what cost? This isn't just unhealthy. This is the fundamental rewiring of your soul. Psychologists call it parentification. I call it conscription. You were drafted into an emotional war you never signed up for. And in that war, you learned 3 brutal foundational lies that are still, right now, killing you. Lie number 1, your needs are a betrayal. You learned very early that your needs, your fear, your sadness, your desire to just play were dangerous. Your needs were a burden. Your needs were the match that could light the fuse of the tyrant in the room. So you buried them. You buried them so deep you forgot they ever existed. In their place, you built a performance. You became the good child, the quiet achiever, the therapist friend, the one who never asks for anything. Lie number 2, love is a transaction. You did not learn love. You learned service. You learned that to receive the bare minimum, safety, a quiet room, a moment of peace, you had to pay for it. You had to earn it. You had to manage the ghost's emotions. You had to be the jester, the savior, the martyr. And this is the poison that infects all of your adult relationships. Lie number 3, chaos is home. Your nervous system not just tolerated dysfunction, it normalized it. Chaos became your baseline. You walked on eggshells so well, you forgot what it feels like to stand on solid ground. This is the invisible grief, and it follows you. You grow up, the child king becomes the hyper-independent adult. You are a machine of success, you are praised for your strength, you refuse help, you push people away, you confuse exhaustion with success. You cannot rest, because, in your primal mind, rest is danger. Rest is when the ghost wakes up. Rest is when the walls fall down. And then you try to love. And this is where the true cost of the silent contract is revealed. You are a man. You are biologically driven to lead, to protect, to be the king. But you are crowned too young in a kingdom of ashes. So what do? You don't attract a partner, you recruit a patient. You are irresistibly drawn to the siren, to the martyr, to the beautifully broken woman. Her chaos feels like home. Her brokenness feels like an opportunity to finally win the war you lost as a child. Your entire identity is built on fixing, on saving. You mistake her trauma for depth. You mistake her emotional volatility for passion. You become her savior because you are terrified of being her partner. Why? Because a real partner, a healthy, stable queen, would have needs. She would challenge you. she would see you. And to be seen is your greatest terror. You are trapped in a sunk cost fallacy with your own trauma. You've invested 30 years in being this strong, silent, good guy. To admit it's a mask, to admit you are drowning, feels like a betrayal of the one identity that has kept you alive. So you perform harder. You overprovide. You overfunction. You become the therapist in all your friendships. You become the man who apologizes for crying. You become the man who flinches at a compliment because receiving feels like a debt. You are a king in public and a terrified 7-year-old hostage in private. And deep down, under the armor of your success, the shadow you buried, that child, is still in there. He is screaming, silently. He is screaming one question. Why didn't anyone protect me? You sit there in your quiet apartment, surrounded by the trophies of your success, and you feel numb. You feel empty. You have this secret childish fantasy that someone, someday, will finally see it, that they will see the cracks in your armor, that they will finally give you permission to fall apart, and they will hold you. That is the unmet need, not of the adult, but of the child who never got to be one. And here is the brutal, liberating, terrible truth. No one is coming. No siren will save you. No queen can do this work for you. The person you are waiting for is you. You are the only one who can go back. You are the only one who can face the ghost. You are the only one who can tear up that silent contract. The first step isn't fixing. It's not positivity. It's witnessing. But what happens when you go back? What happens when you finally turn around and face the 7-year-old boy you abandoned in that hallway? It is the most brutal and most necessary war you will ever fight. Because you're not just looking at him, you are going back to get him. We left off at the door to that room. The room where you signed the silent contract. The room where the child king was born and the real child was buried alive. You are now an adult, a high-functioning performance, a king to the world, a martyr in your own home. You are successful and you are empty, and you are waiting for a savior that is never coming. You have been gaslighting yourself for decades. It wasn't that bad. Other people had it worse. I turned out fine. Fine is the most violent word in your vocabulary. Fine is the mask that is suffocating you. Carl Jung said, "There is no coming to consciousness without pain." This is the king's work. This is shadow work. It is not self-help. It is not positive thinking. It is a brutal excavation. It is a reckoning. It demands that you stop, that you get silent, and that you turn around, that you, the man you are today, walk back into that hallway, that you face the ghost, the tyrant, the addict, the martyr, that you never could. And it demands that you face the child, the shadow, that you abandoned to sign the contract. This is the work, and it is not about fixing. It is about feeling. It is about grieving. You must grieve the childhood you never had. You must feel the rage, the white-hot, righteous, volcanic rage for the birthdays where no one showed up, for the innocence that was stolen, for the fact that you were a child protecting the adults who should have been protecting you. You must feel the sorrow, the crushing, cosmic weight of that 7-year-old's loneliness. You must weep for him. This is not weakness. This is power. This is the thaw. What was frozen is finally moving. And as you sit in that fire, you will finally understand the true cost of your strength, the opportunity cost. You will see the ghosts of all the real relationships you sabotaged, the good women, the queens you pushed away. Why?
because their calm felt boring. Their stability felt like a threat. Their love felt undeserved. You pushed them away so you could run back to the siren, back to the chaos, back to the broken woman you could fix, because fixing her was the only way you knew how to feel valuable. This is the savior trap, and it is the addiction you must break. The shadow inside you, the abandoned child, is terrified of his own needs. He believes that if he asks for something, he will be abandoned. So, as an adult, you never ask. You give. You overfunction. You become the provider, the fixer, the therapist. You are still paying for your safety. You are still performing for your supper. This is how you break the contract. You ask that child, that shadow, what did you need that you never got? He will tell you. I needed someone to say, it is not your fault. I needed someone to ask, how are you? And mean it. I needed someone to protect me. I needed to rest. And now, you, the man, the king, you give it to him. This is the reparenting. This is the integration. You learn to set a boundary. And that boundary is you. You stop fixing everyone. You stop being the therapist. You stop saying yes when your entire soul is screaming no. And it will feel terrifying. It will feel like betrayal because your martyrdom was your identity. The martyr's crown was the only one you ever knew. You must kill the martyr. You must kill the savior. You must learn to receive. You must learn to rest. You must learn that peace is not a trap. It is your birthright. This is how you stop seeking parents in your partners. This is how you stop recruiting patients and start attracting a queen. A queen is not attracted to your wounds. She is not attracted to the savior. She is repulsed by it. She is attracted to the king, the man who is whole, the man who has faced his shadow, integrated it, and now wears his scars not as a plea for pity, but as armor. The king's work is to go back to that 7-year-old, to stand between him and the ghost, and to finally say the words that no one else ever did. I see you. It was not your fault. The shift is over. I am in charge now. I will protect you. You finally get to rest. This is not about becoming someone new. It is about remembering who you were before you were drafted. You never had a choice then. You have one now. You never had a childhood, but you have a future. And this time, you are the one who writes the script.